Motion is an incredibly powerful tool that can enhance any experience. Communication, feedback, and wayfinding are a few impactful ways that motion can show up. Hey everybody, Ivan Witteborg here with Envato Tuts Plus. I'm the creator of Motion UX, also known as MUX, which is a collection of tutorials breaking down UX motion workflows for real production environments. And before we dive in, make sure you check out Envato Elements. A single subscription gets you access to a huge library of assets, UI kits, photos, videos, animation templates, whatever you need, which can all help you jumpstart your next design project. Now let's dive into 3 ways that motion can enhance your experiences. And we'll start off with communication. Here I am inside of a Figma prototype. And we have this friendly Pick'em football Blitz Picks app here. And this is a typical like splash screen, sign in, sign up type of screen that you'd find in almost any type of app. And when I go ahead and I click sign in here, you can see that we are faced with all of this information. And the design, as you look at it in a static form, the hierarchy is pretty good. We have a clear label of what team or group we're in. We know where we are, what week we're in this specific app. We know the most important information is that we're in first place. We have 65 points, and we get this view of all the other players that are in this like pick'em league with me. This experience of clicking sign in and immediately being faced with just this whole page filled with all of this information is a little bit overwhelming to the user. And so how could motion come in and actually enhance the communication of this piece? One way that could be achieved is having some sort of transition in place where when we click sign in, all of these bits and pieces of information come on in a sequenced and an orchestrated fashion that kind of guides us through the information that's most important all the way to what is least important and kind of enticing us for that first call to action. So I went ahead and created what that transition could look like. And let's take a look here. So we see, okay, we're in second place. We have 496 points. And then everything subtly comes into place. And we see that kind of the last thing that we're focused on is this make your picks right here. This way of slowly bringing forth the information one piece at a time is a really nice way to the user to orient them into this space. And when we look at these two side by side, when we see this more static version here, when we tap sign in, it's definitely a quicker experience going from the sign in page to the actual, hey, here's all of your stuff, here's your dashboard. It has the potential to overwhelm the user. And we're really missing out on the opportunity to communicate what is the most important, what is the second most important, and embedding motion into this page really helps with the overall communication of the page hierarchy. Let's move on to feedback. Here I have an example from Amazon, and this is what happens as soon as you log into your account. And so you see I've logged in, and you can see right up here, we have this little animation of the profile person just like waving to you. And this is amazing because it's super delightful. It's very subtle, but it really gets the point of feedback across. Because when I first come to the site, I look up here and there's a big sign in button and I click it and I go through that whole process. And now I'm presented with this immediate feedback of that button has now been swapped out with my name. And beside my name is a person just saying like, hey, welcome to your account being signed into this experience. It's a very subtle, very delightful way to bring that feedback to your user to know I did something and it had the desired outcome of now that I'm currently signed into my account. So here's another example of feedback of when you add something to your cart. So a few things are happening here that are all happening on the same time, all layered on top of each other. So first, we tap it, and we get this feedback immediately of the screen has dimmed a little bit. The button has been swapped out with this kind of like ... saying like, hey, something is happening, it's processing, it's adding to your cart. And then we have this checkbox that comes up in the center that says, hey, we've added it to your cart. And then we also have this really delightful and subtle animation happening on that cart icon at the bottom, where we have these stars coming out and then the 3 is changed to a 4. And so we know definitely this item has been added to our cart. In addition to all of that, right when you do it, your device has some haptic feedback. So it vibrates very slightly to know you've taken an action and you've added this to your cart. And what's wonderful about this is that all of these things are happening at the same time. And so it's an overwhelming confirmation and feedback that what you did something. What exactly did it do? Okay, it added it to your cart. And you can see looking right there at the bottom that my cart has been updated to indicate from 3 items to 4 items that there's something in my cart. What's awesome about this feedback loop is that it's also communicating to the customer, hey, you just tapped add to cart, but then it brings your eye down the page to your actual navigation tab of your cart, which allows you to then continue on in that flow of checking out, of ordering the items that you added to your cart. Embedded in this feedback loop is a little bit of wayfinding. And so it's really focusing your eye down on that shopping cart icon where it scales up, it scales down, there's a little bit of stars coming out, and it really tells you, hey, this is the next step, getting to your cart so that you can finally purchase your stuff. So as you can see, feedback loops are super powerful, communicating to your customer the cause and effect of what they have done. You've tapped a button, it's added to your cart. Let me show you exactly where that thing went and that it's right here in your cart. Let's look at an example of wayfinding. So here we are in the Apple App Store, and we're going to go ahead and download one of these apps. And when I tap on Get, a lot of things are happening at one time. And so we're getting a lot of feedback and a lot of like good communication, but we also have very specific wayfinding here. And so the way that you authorize your app store to actually download and get an app is by using the Face ID feature. And the way you activate it is by double clicking that lock button, and that really activates the Face ID process, which then confirms, yes, it's you, and then you're able to download the app from there. And so what's really wonderful for this is that it's actually kind of a complex interaction of you having to do all of these different steps in order to actually get the app that you're trying to get here from the App Store. But it does an amazing job of clearly communicating with an on-screen visual of like, hey, here is where your button is that you need to click. Go ahead and click it. And it shows a little visual example of what that double click looks like, of it kind of coming in, and then it just goes out. And because there's a lot of motion happening here on the bottom from the Face ID, your eye goes there, notices, okay, Face ID is good, done, and then everything just disappears. And now you're starting to download the app. It's a wonderful, subtle, and very smart way of having wayfinding being built into that feedback loop for the user. Saying, hey, you're trying to get this app, click this thing, look down here, and then boom, you have the app. So another example of motion enhancing the wayfinding of your experience is something that we see very common on websites today. And that's using page load animations or scroll-based animations to really help unfold the story and guide your user down the page. And so if you just saw as I load the page for the first time, we have this general momentum of things moving down the page. And so we have the logo coming in, everything's like subtly offset and sequenced, and that kind of draws our eye down, and we then start focusing on like this chevron right here. We could click that, it would bring us down the page a little bit. And now we see like, as I'm going down the page, things are moving. And that gives me this overall momentum of, oh, okay, I need to continue to scroll down. I need to continue to scroll down to see the rest of it. And I also want to see what kind of interesting things are going to unfold before my eyes. We have some subtle motion right here of like this image kind of moving. And so it makes the page feel very dynamic. But still overall, everything as it's coming in, it has this same momentum of coming from the top all the way to the bottom and starts to draw our eye down lower and lower and lower. So this is a really wonderful technique. It's very, very simple, but it's very powerful of constantly drawing your user further down the page, unfolding the story of what you're having to tell them on your page. Very subtle, but a very powerful way to give a little bit of feedback, but also enhance the wayfinding of where to go next on your page. So communication, feedback loops, wayfinding, these are three powerful ways that motion can impact your experiences. Whether it's an app, whether it's a website, or anything else, motion is a super valuable tool to include in every single one of your experiences to deliver the best experiences for your customers and for your users. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be in the loop of when we have new and exciting videos. And check out all of the videos on Envato Tuts Plus. I'm Ivan Witteborg, and I will catch you all next time.